Hey YouTube, welcome back to my video series, How I Write Songs. Today we're going to talk about an older song for me titled The Damage Done. The Damage Done is the first track off of my album, The Inner Web, which I originally produced and recorded in 1999. And I only recently made it public. And the song is very personal, as I'll go through shortly when I talk about the lyrics. But in terms of the music, this song was recorded on an 8-track multi-track cassette recorder that I owned in 1999. And the song is in D major, key of D major. So it goes D, Mother, why did you, and then F sharp minor, hurt me this way, and then B minor, when I tried to do my F sharp minor best, G major, by stoning my ability and comparing me, G major, to the A major rest. And that's the chord pattern for the entire song. It's all verse. And it's a short song, but it's packed with meaning about my life, my upbringing, and how I dealt with that as a young adult. I was only 1999. I was 26 years old. And I was still living at home with my mom. Was right before I went to graduate school for my PhD degree. And during that year, I was reflecting a lot on my upbringing. So the thing about it was that I was emotionally neglected as a child. And that scarred me as an adult, trying to go into relationships. And, it was my mom who who neglected me. And instead of paying attention to me and my younger brother while we were growing up, she spent a lot of time on the phone after work. She worked long hours, and then as soon as she got home, she was on the phone with my aunts, with her friends, with her boyfriend, pretty much till she went to bed. And my brother and I, we grew up trying to, we had to fend for ourselves for the most part. And that's why I wrote this song and the title, The Damage Done, because, even in the initial verse, Mother, why did you hurt me this way when I tried to do my best? My mom compared me a lot to other kids, and it was very hurtful growing up and never really feeling like I measured up. So, and why I had to fight for her attention. So that was a big impetus for these song lyrics. In the verse, the last verse, when I say, I think this insecurity that you caused me by ignoring me has manifested itself in every single relationship that I've had, but you blame my problems on the fact that I didn't have a dad. And I think I've talked about this before on this channel, where, yes, I did not grow up with my father. My father was an abusive person, and my mother got me and my brother away from him, as well as getting herself away from him when I was very young. So I did grow out without him. I did not really have him as a role model at all. My role model, for the most part, was my mom, as well as a lot of my uncles. And I had to, like I said, really fend for myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my description of the lyrics and the music and how it relates to my upbringing. And this was this was just one of those songs where I discussed my psychological history, and it was a prelude to the album that I just reviewed, Decade Decoded. On Decade Decoded, I still was talking a little bit about my psychological history, but it was more in the context of my marriage and the following relationship that I had after my divorce. So, and Decade Decoded was actually produced in 2012 to 2013, which was much later than The Inner Web. So I had really, grown up a lot by the time I wrote the songs for Decade Decoded. I was married. I was, I had children, and just had a different outlook on life, but still, focused heavily on my psychological history and how it kind of led up to my marriage and the problems that I had in my marriage and my divorce, and then the following relationship when I had problems too. And the other thing is, I have this anxious attachment style because of my upbringing and the emotional neglect that I suffered. So this anxious attachment style made its way into my marriage and other relationships that I've had, where I did not feel secure in the relationships, and I tended to be very clingy as a result, and just kind of holding on as much as I could, even when faced with abusive partners. So that's something I wrote about on Decade Decoded. So I'm just trying to link, this album, Innocence, in The Inner Web, trying to link The Inner Web with Decade Decoded, because they were basically, Decade Decoded was like the sequel to The Inner Web. But yeah, you could check out any of my songs here on my YouTube channel. Just search for @JamesNetherwald, and otherwise you can listen to it on any other streaming app, including Spotify and iTunes. So hopefully you have a great day, and see you soon. Bye.